Welcome to a very special edition of Beginner Breakdown. I am your host, Mike Kummer. And so last week we had a video about the two knights defense. And it seems like people still aren't convinced that this opening is terrible for beginners. All right, so let's check out a comment. Let's swing it over to the comment section. All right, we have one Mr. Jared Plain. Mike Kummer expresses his belief that the two knights defense is a forced win for white by repeatedly showing games by players that barely know how the pieces even move. Great content as always, Mike. All right, we'll just leave it at that, the great content, okay? But it goes on, blah, 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 blah. So then you look at this guy, Jared Plain, you click on him. Everybody knows, of course, what the worst music genre is of all time, right? Jazz. yeah, jazz, yeah. Don't be so convinced about it. Yeah, so jazz. So you see this guy, he likes to, sing like polka dots and moonbeams and stuff. So dude, maybe you should get your own house in order before you start critiquing chess videos. All right, so here we go. And for once and for all, we'll show you the fried liver again. And this is from this Friday night, okay? It's funny how when you're playing black in this two knights defense that kids aren't running down showing their games. Oh, look at this, I won in 11 moves. It's always the player playing white. That's very, very weird, right? All right, so here we go. So Andrew is playing white against an older gentleman. He's been playing for a long time, and the older gentleman's rating is 950. Okay, so here we go. Time control is game 20 with a 3-second delay. Friday action quad. So we all know how this is gonna play out. Bishop c4, knight f6. And of course, what move should white slam here? Yeah, knight g5, right. Yeah, just slam it. And it's like, all right, here we go, d5. E takes, and now he's like, I'm gonna let the fried liver happen, okay? I'm not playing knight a5, because we all see how that works out anyway, right? So let's just take the pawn, okay? All right, so obviously, fried liver, you capture the pawn and slam it, all right? All right, so your queen and rook are both forked, so the king has to take the knight. All right, and now you get a big check. So now two players are attacking the knight, and we only have one defender. So, you think the king really wants to be out here on move, 6, 7? No. All right, so now the knight is in a pin. Whenever a knight is in a pin, it's a stuck piece, meaning it can't move. So you should attack the pinned pieces, especially when it's the knight. So who can help out attack the knight here? Any guesses? How about this knight on c3? Okay. And now, so now the way black would defend in this position is either by playing knight to b4. Yeah, knight to b4. So he's threatening to check and also getting c6 in to solidify his position as much as he possibly can. Okay, but instead he's like, I'm going to attack your queen. Big mistake, right? Big mistake. So what move should white play here? He's got two good moves. Well, no, he's just got one. So you better get it right. Checks are always good, right?
Yeah, queen.
No. You don't want to let them off the hook.
Okay.
So who should take? Who's the other guy that can take that would deliver the check?
The bishop.
The Bishop check. And he's like, all right, well, whatever. I just try to get back to E8 and be safe. He's like, no, you ain't going back to E8, buddy. He's like, all right, well, I just wander out in the middle of the board some more. Let's see how it really works out for him. All right, so does everybody see the checkmate here? Well, how about knight to E4? Knight to D5 looks B5. B5. Well, so there's a big difference between knight to B5 check and knight to E4 check. Big difference. One, we can capture it. Two, it's not a checkmate. The great thing about knight to E4 is it covers this pivotal C5 square. So that's actually checkmate, guys, all right? So now, yeah, you see a lot of kids running down after their victory. Wow, I beat them in 12 moves. I didn't know chess was so easy, right? But now I said, you know, the player playing black never does. He's always got a sad look on his face. It's like, why do I play the worst? Why do my teachers tell me to get annihilated in 5 moves all the time? But all right, so you could be saying like other commentators, well, you haven't seen the Traxler variation. Well, guess what? We have seen it. We've gone over it. Check out the 2015 SummerSlam Bash. The only kid that still plays the Traxler is, of course, Harper Evans Smith's student, okay? So we'll just go over the Traxler very quickly because that's all it deserves. So it's like, I tricked you. I tricked you. It's like, you didn't trick nobody. All right, so bishop takes pawn check. This is the pivotal position in the Traxler, all right? So obviously we have 3 potential moves here. We could play like the people in the fried liver and bring our king out to the center, all right? We could just move our king to F1, or we could take and get crushed. Crushed. Knight takes crush. Okay? So we're just calmly move to F1, and now we're up by 1,000 points. Free rook, and he's got nothing, right? You can try to come down and take. Or if he takes, you know, we got this big check where we take, check, king moves, and then boink. All right, so we have so much, the people playing Traxler have nothing, as long as you don't take the bishop. Got it? And then we're the winners, all right? Sound good? We're winners, yeah. All right, so all right, so I don't want to hear anything about the Traxler anymore either. All right, so now the final criticism here. All right, oh, hey, oh, yeah, it's somebody that used to be one of my biggest supporters. All right, so here it is. Hey, Mike, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's something you teach. It's not that simple. But have you ever checked it in Grandmaster level games? All right, the answer is yes. All right, and here it is for you, Rosebuster, okay? All right, hopefully you'll be back on my side. All right, here we go. So we have a game from the U.S. Chess Championship between Hikaru Nakamura. Spoiler alert, he was the U.S. Chess Champion this year because of this game, instead of our good friend over here. And he played Mr. Josh Friedel, a good player in his own right, okay? So here we go. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, bishop C4. So Josh Friedel probably thought there's no way he's gonna play knight G5 on me and everything will be okay, okay? So he's probably really hoping before he played that move. And then his worst nightmare happened, okay? Nakamura slams he's like, I'm going for the championship, buddy. And so here it is, all right? All right, so D5, pawn takes. Okay, so notice, he's like, okay, you're not getting in the fried liver with me. So 2 knights defense. So bishop C4 check, C6, pawn takes, pawn takes. And now Nakamura plays the suggested move, bishop to d3. As you saw, I played that against the national master Karan Han, okay? Bishop d3. It's a great move, okay? It totally just debunks the whole thing. And so now, let's take another great look at Black's structure here. His knight, useless, pawn isolated, another pawn isolated. But hey, you know, you got the initiative somehow. I guess because it's your move. Is that how you have the initiative? And let's see your big initiative move, all right? All right, more discovered attacks on the knight. Great. All right, so, all right, Nakamura, I'll get developed. Excellent. I'll castle. Okay, I'll castle. Rook b8. All right, get some pressure on the b file. And so he's like, all right, I'm not going to let you attack me with h3. Great move, Nakamura. h3. I love it, love it, love it, love it. c5. Okay, so now what is Black's threat here? He just pushed his pawn from c6 to c5. You better get this right.
He's playing to push it up. So.
Yeah, push it up again. Yeah. Well, that's a really intense threat there. Okay, so Nakamura, you know, plays b3. If I would have played b3 against Karan Han, I'd have 50 more bucks in my pocket. I'll tell you that right now. But all right, so now he's like, all right, I'll get my rook out there. All right, so I don't know about that move. All right, so Nakamura's like, oh, I'll develop normal, rook e1. All right, so bishop b7. I like it. All right, so now he's targeting some squares in Nakamura's camp. Okay, so good idea by Josh Friedel there. Okay, so he's got his bishop along an active diagonal. Since he couldn't do anything on this other diagonal. So that was good. But Nakamura is like, I can have my bishop on a good diagonal too. So rook f4. So this is pretty dangerous. Rooks are pretty much, you know, long range pieces. Really work better vertically unless they're like on the 7th rank or conversely on the 2nd rank. When you have a rook on the 5th, 4th, 3rd rank, 6th rank, you're just asking it to get attacked and captured, right? So, all right, here we go. Yep, attack it. All right, rook d4. Knight f3, just can't stand the pressure now. He's like, man, my rook's made so many bogus moves. Well, nobody told you to put on b4 in the first place, buddy, but all right. So he's like, I'm just so sick of it. I get rid of this rook. All right, so he sacrifices the exchange. So what else could have he done? Okay, and I'll give you a hint. The knight is attacking the rook. So if he didn't want his rook harassed by the knight anymore, what could have he played? Well, yeah, he could have moved it back, but you know, the rooks had a maximum amount of moving for the game. He's worn out. How about remove the attacker? Right? And now the rook is no longer harassed. Okay? But he's like, all right, forget it. Just forget it. All right, so all right, the bishop's gone, and now he's got queen takes pawn. So he's getting someplace. All right, so he says. But white can win a pawn right back. Hi, Martin. My great friend Martin, he is back. You don't want to take that pawn because you know it's protected, right? Oh. Martin knows which pawn can white take here, and with which piece. Knight, yes, knight. Knight takes. All right, so now he's got to move his queen. And so guess what? Nakamura can just attack it again. So okay, so he goes back. d4. And now Josh is like, I'm going to pin that pawn. All right, so he pinned it. So Nakamura's like, okay, I'll just move. And it's like, oh, it's as simple as that. And now, Josh Friedel, he's got 3 different ways to take a pawn. Spoiler alert, he'll take the worst possible way. It's tough to be a grandmaster. So many choices, so many choices. So yeah, you could take with the rook. Now you're thinking like Josh Friedel. All right. Yeah, rook, queen, or pawn. Obviously, you take with the pawn. Could get interesting. Could get interesting. The bishop's hanging, but your knight's hanging. But not good, because then your rook's hanging. Oh. So that choice should have been pretty easy to eliminate, okay? So now you're down to 2 choices. Yeah, delete that choice. Yeah, get it out of the mind. We're not taking with the pawn. Okay, good. All right, so now we have the rook or the queen.
Rook.
Rook. All right. Rook it is. All right, rook it is. Rook it is. That's what Josh Friedel thought. Now, he failed to see a crusher. A crusher. So I want everybody to think for a minute and play like Nakamura and win the U.S. Chess Championship if you can find this great move. And by the way, you should take a good look at this knight over here too. He's really doing great. He's really doing great. He's got his isolated pawn still. No, I want everybody to really think. I want everybody to get this. All right, well, we got one, we think. It's got to be a really good move. I mean, really good. Even better than moves like knight f3, because that's just horrible. So it's got to be better than that. All right. A white to move and crush and win the championship. And I'm sure he won like $40,000 or so for winning the championship and got his name engraved on a beautiful trophy. It's tough to see. A lot of Black's pieces are just like totally misplaced. I mean, just totally. Obviously the knight. This bishop's not doing much. This rook is in the center. This queen is in, the camp, but, doesn't really have too many spaces to go, does she?
Knight move again.
It's not a knight move. Okay, look, an easy way, look, when you're trying to calculate out checks and captures, right? You just need to be looking at every single one of them, right? So how many pieces can possibly even attack the queen, right? The knight can, but he'll get eaten, right?
No.
This knight can, but he'll get eaten. This knight can, but it can get eaten. So it's not the knight. So who else we got that can attack the queen? Oh, bishop to, we know what you mean, right? Bishop to C1? There is no C3. Bishop to C1, right? Oh, C1's good. And now, you got that one, Martin? Good. And now, the queen's got no place to go because you're attacking her flight squares as well. So, he's U.S. chess champion. So, I'm sure, you play the 2 nice defense, you get what you deserve. Thank you very much.